Hello everyone, and welcome back to our Python programming course. I hope you are all doing well and you have practiced the assignments from the previous lecture. That are these three assignments that I give you, and also one code challenge. In today's session, we are going to learn another fundamental concept of Python that you will almost use in every program you write. So, today our topics will be Python operators, types of Python operators, you can say. So, operators are the building blocks of programming, whether you are creating a simple calculator app or bank application, shopping website, or even a game, anything. Operators are always used in that. So before going further, let's take a quick recap of our previous lecture, which was lecture 3. So in our previous lecture, we started our lecture from the data types. So where I told you about the data type is a specific kind of value stored in a variable and determines the operation can be performed on that value. Here I gave you the examples of data types. This one is ls, and that is string, it is integer, it is float, and it is boolean. Then we talked about the concatenation of strings, that how by using addition operator or plus operator between strings can join the strings. Then we talk about the categories and data types like integer, float, complex, string, and boolean. I also talked in detail about in previous lecture. Then we took a real life example of the bank, how banks store our details by using different data types. Further, I also give you the clear clarification of these categories. Then we come to the detailed analysis of the integer data type, that is whole numbers, the integer data type. So I told you about that they are whole numbers and can't contain any decimals. However, they can contain negative numbers. Then we came to the floats, which are same as integer type, and they contain the decimal thing. Then we come to the complex numbers, that how the applications of complex numbers, like they use in physics, advanced mathematics, and scientific computing. I also gave you an example of the complex number. Then we talked about the dynamic tapping. Here, dynamic tapping means that Python can identify itself what is the data type without explicitly told by the programmer. It can identify itself whether it is a number or a float or a int. We can also check the data stored in a variable by using a type function. So we also talked about later in the previous lecture. Then we talked about the string, that it is a sequence of letters, numbers, symbols, and special characters, and it must enclose in quotation marks. Then I gave you the examples and the two ways to store a string, by single quotes or double quotes. Then we talked about the Boolean data types, that it represents only two values, or whether it is true or it is false. And also give you an example. Also, one error that most people face is by writing the small t. You should always write capital T and small f in the beginning. In the case true and false. Then we talked about the type function in detail. Like the type function is used to identify the data type of a variable and slash value. Also, I gave you the syntax how to write this type function. We also understand why the type function is useful. That it helps to understand the program, debug also, and also find mistakes in our program. Then it also helps to. Then we like talked about some of the errors people do while writing this type function. So then we come to a new topic, that was type conversion or typecasting. Type conversion means to convert a value from one data type to another data type. For example, string to integer, integer to float, or float to string. We also talked about how we can use int function to convert the default output of a input function into integer. However, this by default gives the string data type, but when we put the int function before that, it gives us the int data type. Also, we do the same thing for float. Then we here I used the type function to finding the data type of age. Then I talked about the two properties of the boolean that in boolean non-zero numbers are considered as true and zero is considered as false. Empty strings are treated as false and non-empty strings are treated as true. Also, we have learned about some numeric conversions in our previous lecture with some mistakes also. Here we also did some of the practice programs. I hope you have revised all these programs also. Then I gave you that 4-day challenge also. I hope you have completed that challenge. We have also talked about the basic errors people do in that also. Then I gave you some of the assignments, like assignment one, you have to create four values, basic assignments. I think you have done all these assignments. So let's let's now uh, come to our lecture as we have recapped for gave a revision of full our previous lecture. So now think about something interesting. In the previous lecture, we learned about how to store value in variables. For example, like if I write lecture 4. So in previous lecture, we have learned to write to how to store values in a variables like a is equal to a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 20. Like this, we have learned to store these values. Okay. So now at this point, we have two variables. But what if we want to perform some operations on them? Like if I want to like do the addition operation on them. So what can I do here? So for that we have some operators to perform various operations like to compare these values also. Are these values are same or not? Whether 20 is bigger or 10 is smaller or 10 is bigger or 20 is smaller. So for this we have the operators. For the real life examples, like if you are always you have used calculator, when you add two numbers in calculators and press enter, the calculator perform the addition operations. Same for subtraction, multiplication, and division also. So in Python, uh, we have also these arithmetic operators also and different types of operators also. So let's continue to a question that why operators are important. Because operators are obviously operators are important because they are widely used in most of the areas. I think in every area, 100% areas they are used, like in banking applications, online shopping websites, school management system, and in every other example. So let's talk about the topics we will learn in today's lecture. So in today's lecture, we will learn about what are operators. Although I have told you a brief description about the operators, but we will also study it in deeply. So what are operators? Then we will study arithmetic operators. Arithmetic operators. These operators are those operators which you use in the basic calculation like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Then we will study about our assignment operator. I think I have previously told you also in brief. Then we will use comparison operators. Then we will learn about our logical operators, three logical operators. Then membership operators. Then we will learn about our identity operators. Then we will learn Operator precedence, like your board mass would in mathematics, here in Python, here operator precedence, Python, like give the first priority to which operator in our code? Operator precedence. Then we will learn about some beginner mistakes and do some practice program also. So by the end of this lecture, you will be able to use operators confidently in your own Python programs. So as always, I told you to keep your Python editor open while watching the lecture. Don't just watch examples, try to code also. Don't type every program yourself, execute it. Try to type every type program yourself and execute it. If you make mistakes, don't worry, there's a normal part of the learning process. Now we have revised the previous lecture, understood why operators are important, and also learned what we will learn in today's lecture. So let's come to our topic with what it was. What are operators or about operators? So we continue like what are operators? So you have seen like examples like addition, subtraction, and less. But in programming, operators have different meanings. So for the definition, I will give you that of definition that uh, an operator is a special symbol. Okay, like plus, minus, anything. Or you can say keyword, like we have told you like the keyword like and or not, which we can't use in as identifiers. So let's go to our definition. An operator is a special symbol or keyword that tells Python what should it tell to perform the specific operations on one or one or more values. So it is the main function of the operators. However, this is a technical definition. You can understand the major things by that. So for the simple word, I can say that it basically tells what action should perform on any value. Okay. So for example, if I write here 10 divided by 5. So what does this mean? Here we are dividing a 10 by 5. Here the 10 is one value, 5 is another value, and here in between we have a operator which we call as division operator. And when we like do your division, we get the answer here 2. So this is the basic work of the operator. So let's come to a new word that is operand. So what is operand here? So operands are the values on which the operator works. So let's I write here. These are the values on which operator works. So here, if I can say that the 10 here is your operand, your this your division symbol, it is your operator, and 5 here also your operand. Here The equal to sign is nothing. I have just put it in. Here two is our output. Here equal to sign doesn't mean it's assigning something. I have just write when like we write in maths. Okay. So let's just go to our next topics. That is when we use these both operators and operand together, we perform some of the operations in our code. Like if I give you an example and other example, I here write 5 multiply by 10. So here we got our output. The output would be here is 50. So by using the operand and operator, we can get our output. Okay, let's understand it with a real life analogy. Like imagine you have two numbers. Take these numbers only like 5 or 10, and that told you to add them. So what will you do? Obviously you will use operator. If I you will use plus operator and the answer would be 15. Same for the other operations also. Like if I told you to like add them, subtract them, multiply them, divide them. Okay, so you can imagine, like you can like guessing that operate that can operator be only used for arithmetic operations only? The answer is no. There are various things that we can perform operators on. Like for the arithmetic operators, only here it performs what performs calculations, the basic mathematic calculation. But for the comparison operators, they what they do here, they compare the value. The comparison operators compare values. For the logical operators, what they do, they are mostly used in like your conditions, like they are mostly used in conditions, or you can say condition statements. So they are a condition. Like if I said if both the two conditions are true, so I will write and. Like you have already learned in the if you your and or not gate in the semiconductors thing in physics. If you have already learned, you know a little bit about that. For the assignment operators, so they are used for assigning things in the variables. Okay. Then where we have the membership operators. So it checks whether an element exists or not. So it checks the existence. We will study in detail in the in this lecture only. So like then we have identity operators. Here they are used to compare object identity. Here they are used to compare values, but here they are used to compare object identity. We will also study this later in detail. Then I will give you one practical examples also. Like if I come to my code editor and make a new file here, just for the example purpose only, code dot file. If I write here, take if I take two variables like a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 5. What if I want to print the output of addition, like sum of these numbers? If I write print and write here a, so if I will use here the addition operator and write b. So by doing that, I will get the sum of these two variables, I click on run, you can say that I got the output 15. So this is a basic example. What if we change the operator? Like if I put in minus, we will get the 5 here. Okay, and similarly, we can do for the other operators. Like if I write here your multiplication also, so you can say we get our answer here 50. So let's just comment this and move to our next topic, that what are the need of these operators. So the most important need of these operators are doing operations. Without operators, you can't do operations, like any operation, like arithmetic operations, comparison operations, any other like addition, subtraction, multiply. So these are the basic things you can't do without operators. Some common mistakes people do by using operators are like operators can just they get in a like idea like in their mind like operators can only work with numbers, but that is really not true. They can work on strings also. Like I told you previously, if I go here and take two strings, string mm, one, here I take like what should I take, like anything. If I take here first and str2 I take a space, so that then I take str3 here, which is name. So we can also use your the what we can say that your uh, addition operators, and we can perform the concatenation of these three strings. If I write here print and write here str1 plus str2 plus str3. So as you can see, if I run the code, so I got the output as full name. Here the plus operator is not used for like addition. Is for the strings, it just join the all these three strings. So it can be used for these things also. So I copied that and come to our. So I can write here like operators can also be used on strings, like we do for the example. For example, I can write here. But this examples here, we will got our output like first, then I got space here and got name. So this is the output I got here. Okay. The second thing I could try to say that please do not cram this. This is a basic thing, basic string concatenation, and you just know the difference between the numbers and string. That's all. Not a very thing to stress this. So let's do a quick activity. So here I will give you some expressions, operands, and you have to predict the result only. Not a big deal. Very easy. So like if I give you this expression one, which is 25 plus 10. So here I want to ask you which is operand here, which is operator here. So for that, and I want to ask the result of this expressions also. So here our operand is, or we can say operands are 25 and 10, and for the operator we have our plus. For the result, we will add these, so we will get the answer is 60, oh, sorry, 35. Okay, so just a basic activity to your, so how, so that you can identify that what are operators, what are operands, and how to calculate result of this. So now we have understand the operators are what operand are. It's time to explore our first and most commonly used categories of operators that we already noted are arithmetic operators, these plus, minus, multiply, divide. Also, there are two to three more level that you will study first time. So let's summarize what we have learned today. Learned not today for this particular section. So we have learned like what are operators, that they are a special keyword that tells Python to perform the specific operation on one or more values. What actions should perform, it also tells us operators. These are the values on which these are should be operand, not operator. Operand. Okay, just a small mistake here. Then we study different types of operators also, like arithmetic operators, comparison operators. No. Then we have also told you that operator can be used on string, as you already know previously, and a small activity for that. You can also try to do by changing here plus, plus to minus, divide, and other operators also. So if so, let's continue to our arithmetic operators sections. So I write here the headings. So here I write arithmetic operators. So no need to give introduction for these operators. You have used vastly in your classes here, like plus minus, all of them are used. So then I also told you, as the name suggests, these operators are used for running those arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So let's I give you some of the basic definition so that you can understand it technically. So by the technical terms, you can say that these are the operators, or you can say the symbols that perform mathematical operations. Okay, so let's discuss some of our types of these arithmetic operators. So first one in our list is your addition. Yes. Then on the second of the list we have subtraction, that you also know. Then for the third number we got our multiplication. However, here the symbol of multiplication is different. So here it is asterisk. You should remember this also. For the division, we have our slash. Okay. For the modulus, now you are wondering what the modulus is. We will talk about it later in detail. So just be patient. So here we have got this sign is percentage symbol. Okay. For the sixth number, we have flow division. This is also can sound new to you. We will also do that. The sign of this is double slash. Now for the last operator, which is exponential operator or exponentiation. So here we require to exponentiation in simple terms means you use power. So I think it is easier. You know it previously I think exponent. So let's first come to our addition operators. So I think you all know what are addition operators. Then also I told you in brief. So our addition operators is used to add two numbers together, or it is can used to join two strings also. You should remember used to add two numbers. Okay. Like if I take an example, like I already gave you, if I take a is equal to 2 and b is equal to 3, and if you try to print here a plus b, then your output will be here 5. Okay. So for the real life example, I will go you if you go to a bookshop and you ask two books, one cost 350, other cost 300. Then for the total price, you have to add these both prices and get the price like 300 plus 350. That would be 650. For the subtraction operator, it is also like very easy. Subtraction operator. It is used to find the difference. Okay, between two numbers. Okay. For example, if I take here a is equal to 20 or 10 on b is equal to 8. So if I try to print here 10 minus 8, the output would be 2. Basic example for that also. So the real life, if you have like 1000 rupees in your wallet and you spend 2000 rupees, sorry, 200 rupees on something, you will get 800 rupees. So basic example of that also. Then our multiplication of return. Okay, here it is used to find the, you can say, like product. Okay, to find the product of two numbers. Actually, more than two numbers also. If, for example, if you like want to find the area of the triangle, find the area of triangle or rectangle. So for that you have to know two things that would be length, like stake is 20 and breadth. So should I take breadth or you can say width also, like a 10. And when you will, when what operator would you use to find the area? So if for that we will use our multiplication operator and we will multiply both these values. Like I can write here length into width. Here we will got our output 200 or square units you can say, but it doesn't mean. Here also you can write a where we or you can directly add values, no problem. Okay. For the next operator we have our division operator. Okay, so it is used to divide the one number by other number. Okay, used to divide one number by another number. Okay. For example, if you take right here, print 20 divided by 5, you will get answer here 4. Okay. Then we have our here one thing to notice that I will get our answer 4.0 because the division operator outputs with a float, not a whole number. This is one thing to remember for you. Okay. So that's one thing, right? If I write here one example also, right here, print 7 divided by 2. So we will get here 3.5 inch. So you remember that the output of a division operator is in float. Okay. So let's now move to our next operator, which is our modulus operator. So let's that is one example or I've told you duplication. So it is basically used to find the remainder of a division. Like if you in your small classes when you try to do by this here when you write here like 21, if you write here 21 and you write here 5. Okay, so when you divide this you take 5 fours. 5 fours are 20, so you will write here 4 and in the below you will write here 20. Okay, but so in here you got one remainder also. Here you got the remainder as 1. Okay, so the main function of this modulus operator is to get this remainder only. Okay, this is the function of this. For example, if I take an example here, if I take two values like a is equal to I take 8 and b is equal to I take 3. If I write here print 8 modulus by 3, you will get the output as you can like say that 3 the 6 3 3 are 9. So it will get bigger. So we will take 3 2 are 6 and divide that and we will got our answer 2. So here output will be 2. I can also show that in our editor also. If I comment this and paste my code here and try to run that, you can see we got our answer 2. So it is basically giving the output as remainder of the division. Okay, for here you can see that here 8 8 is divided by 3, not 3 3 is divided by 8. So remember that also. Okay, so here I also gave you the real example or use case of this operator. You will use widely for this, widely use this use case in your exam. Like I have to find here if I have to find whether a number is even or odd. So what will I do? For the advanced thing, I can say brought up like here we use conditional statements. So but I will show you in a simple way. Like we will take two conditions. Condition firstly in our program we will take here input, like we will take a num is equal to input, and we will write here enter. Okay, enter the number. Okay, so then we will apply two conditions. The condition one here would be like if number divides, or if the modulus of number with 2 like results in 0, then we can print here print number is even. You already know that all even numbers are divisible by 2, so here the remainder would be 0. That's why here we're taking modulus. Okay, now for the other conditions we will put here if not, then you can print here number is odd. So by this simple program here I have not put the for full program. I have write type of pseudocode, you can say. So here you can use this for a real use case for of the modular here. Okay, so let's just highlight this. Okay, so it is a real use case of the modulus operator. Then we come to our next operator, which is floor division operator. Here we have learned our modulus operator and division operator. Now we come to our floor division operator, like floor division. So for the floor division, what is it used? Like if I tell you here, if here I make this again, and here I write your anything I should write here if I write 10 and here I should write 3. So you already know when you will divide this, you will divide by 3. So you will write here firstly 3, then you will write here 9. Okay, okay. Then when you try to subtract this, you will get 1 here as the output. But then what will you do? Then you will take here a point or a decimal here. So here you will take as a point, and what will you do? Here you will add 1 0. So you had here 1 0. Now what? Now you will again take 3 as 3 3s are 9. 3 3s are 9. Then you will take here again 9 3, and here you will take below as 9 here. Okay. Then you will again minus this, and you will get here 1. So this cycle will continue, and we will got our answer is 3.3333333, like to infinite way. I think we can get this. So by using floor division, you can completely remove this 3.333. If you do, for example, if you take, for I am taking this example only. If I take here like A, A is equal to 10 and B is equal to 3. If I try to print here 10 load division by 3, then we will got our output here and like 3 only, because the floor division completely removes, okay, it will completely remove all these decimal places, okay. That's why here it is used for removing the decimal places only. So I will give you an example also. So this example I give you. So here, let's come to our next operator, which was exponential operator. And think you already know that from before. It is a very like common operator, common thing in mathematics. Operator. So here it is used to like as a power, or like if you take like power exponents, you used to calculate power. So like right here, use. Actually, I forgot to write here that it is used to like used to remove decimal places. Okay. Now come to exponential operator. Here, here it is used to calculate power. Like if I write here, print two exponential operator and 3. So what will the output here? So here what will happen? It will multiply 2 3 times. So our output will be 2 to the 4, 4 2s are 8. So here our output will be 8. So it is used for that purpose only. So let's make the comparison table and understand or quickly revise these all operators. So firstly we take here our addition operator. So for the addition, so what is addition used here? Like it is used to add two things. Basically, it is so here it is used to add, or can say simple addition, like 10, 10 plus 5 equal to 3. For negative operator, it is used for subtraction, like 10 minus 5 is equal to 5. Then here we have our multiplication operator. So for multiplication, okay, let it 10 divided by 5 equals 50. Then here we have our division operator. So we just had to take a small time to just all learn these symbols of all the operators. Like in 10, 5. Here we will get our answer 2.0. Okay, so remember this, for division we get the output as float. Then we will take our modulus operator. So it is used to do modulus, means you get the remainder of the division. If I write here this and 2, we get here output as 0. Okay. Then for the float division, here we get our output, like it removes the decimal thing. So if I write here float division, it removes, so it will, like for example if I write a 10, we will get here 3, not 3.33. For the, you can say that exponents is to calculate powers. Expon, if I write here 2 to the power 8 for as polymetric, no problem. You understanding, that's fine. Equal to 8. So this is our whole recap table. So I have like summarized in short for you. Okay, let's get our mini practice program. Okay, so let's come to our code editor. Here I take two variables. A is equal to 12 and B is equal to 5. Here I will like use the all operators for these operands. So I have print 12. First we use addition of 12 plus 5. Then I will print here 12 minus 5. Although I can also write here for like so that improves readability, I can write here plus, and here I can write a comma comma here b comma. So I just execute this all only. I will execute at the end so that you can guess the output also. Here also I can write a comma minus also comma b comma this. Next for print I will use multiplication, so a comma this comma b comma 12, or I can write simply a na. Why should I write in 12 a plus b a minus b a multiply b. Next division also write a division, then comma b comma a division by. Next for print a, here we are using modulus no? Modulus b comma a modulus b, comma and right here b comma. Then for the exponentiation I will write here a comma exponent b comma a comma So I know already know you can expect these answers. So let's just write execute this program and you should like check your answer. If I run button, you can say that here we got our output. We can also put here like equals to. This is a shortcut CTRL Alt and you down arrow you can write in multiple lines. Okay. Yeah. 'Okay? So when I was on this array, you can see we got our output like 12 plus 5 17, 12 minus 5 7, 12 into 5 60, 12 divided by 5 2.4. You can see that here like if we got only our till one digit only. Okay. Here when we modulus that we got our output to as we will take 5 2s or 10 and here will be our only remainder will be 2. Why? Because when we do subtract 10 from 2, we'll get our answer 2. Here we get our, when we divide 5, here we get our, like, it's 2.4, the decimal place is removed. And this is our exponential answer will be very large. I think 2,48,032. Okay, so it is a basic, like you can say, a mini activity, you can say, which is used to, like, for the revision of the operator. So, as we have completed this mini activity, let's come to the basic beginner mistakes people do by using operators. So, right here, beginner mistakes people do. So, for the first beginner mistakes is about of the division operator, right? When people write here print, here like here first. So when people write here print and 5 or 10 divided by 2, people expect the output would be like this. What it is wrong. Why wrong? Because the division operator gives you the output as float. So here our output will be 5.0. So it is the first mistakes that people often do here. For the second one is that people get confused between like this division operator and the float division operator. So let's also quickly understand this division operator also. So for the division I will take these two numbers like a is equal to 9 and b is equal to 2. So when we try to like you by divide this by using division operator, we will get a 9 or a divided by b, then we will get our output as 4.5. Okay, but when we try to like use float division on that, we will get our output as only 4 because this float division removes the decimal on this that came along that division. By this, you can also say that simple division gives a float as output, and float division gives as our output. Okay. The second thing people often confuse on that is third thing that of a modulus operator. If I write here 5 modulus by 2, people often think that it will give the quotient. So people think the output would be like you can say 10, but in actual the output is not 0. The output is are 1, I think 1. Like if we write here 2 twos are 4, then we got our remainder as 1. So people often confuse in that. So it is wrong here. Okay, or not quotient. So people can assume 2. Quotient means that but sorry, I write here the product. Here 2, the 2 twos are 4. So people often confuse that it gives the quotient. Okay, so let's come to our next, which one is 4. And it is generally that people try to mistake using not words of writing. It is like a mistake using like other like we can use the plus operator for concatenation. So people try to use other operators for the string concatenation. So it is not available. So let's come to the real life examples. So arithmetic operators are using many real world applications. Like mostly if you take applications, it is used in banking sector, shopping website, e-shopping websites, schools where your grades are calculated, the average marks also, then your scientific applications also. Okay, so let's just revise all these operators firstly. Then we will move to the our next type of operator, which are assignment operators. So let's revise from the above only. So here we started with arithmetic operators. So these are the symbols that perform mathematical operators. Then I told you all the 7 types of the operators available in Python. Uh, Arithmetic operators available in Python. Then we talked about the addition operators. Then we talked about our subtraction operator. Then multiplication operators. Then our division operators. I told you about the modulus operator. Here I told you about it tells about the remainder. Okay, and I also gave you a real life use case to check even out by this modulus operator. Then we talked about our floor division. Here it is used to remove the decimal places. Okay. Then we talked about our exponentiation operator. It is used to calculate power. Okay. Then I have talked about some beginner mistakes also here. So let's get to our next types of operators, which are assignment operators. Okay, these are used for assign things to our to the variables. Okay, so let's just before that, I think I we should do a small like a challenge or like coding thing. So let's just do here to like so that you should not get confused between the last 3 operators like the modulus, floor, and exponential. Not that division, modulus, and floor division. So if I write here 18 divided by 5, then I will write here 18 modulus by 5. Then I write here 18 floor division by 5. So can you guess the output? So let's just do it here. So small, that's sorry. So here are all these things. So for the first thing, What you do here, you will like simply divide it by 18 by 5. You will take 5 3s are 15, and you will get a 5 3 to 15, and then you will like take the 3 as your remainder, and you will like took a decimal, and then you will like point it, and you will like 5.6 like 6, so the answer will be here 5.6. So let's just do it for that modulus. Here you will try for one time, and here your output will be like when you try to do modulus here, you will take 5 3s are 15. So 18 minus 15 will get a 3. So here output will be your 3, and here your output will be 3.6, I think. Huh? No problem, we will check afterwards. Here the difference is that you have to like do the division also, but not for the this one, this model. So simple, the output would be 3 here also. Don't that get confused between this and this. Here we have taken the difference of what? Not difference. Here we have taken the remainder, and here we have taken the quotient without the the decimal place. So let's run this here. As you can see, we firstly got here 3.6, then 3 and 3 here. The same as that. Okay. So just a little exercise to like clear your doubts between that this operator, modulus operator, and lower division operator. Okay. So let's get into our assignment operators and study what assignment operators are. So let's come to our assignment operators. From the word, it is already telling that it is used for assigning things. So for the technical definition or technical terms, you can say that operators, so they are used to assign a value to a variable. Okay, then for like what symbol we use for that? So we use here a equal sign. It is used for assigning the things into a variable, of values into a variable. So for example, we can take here like x is equal to 10. So by using the assignment operator, we assigned the 10 values to the x. Okay. So for the here I can explain that here the x is your variable. It is an assignment operator, and here 10 is the value which is assigned to x. So here these are a simple assignment operator. We call it simple assignment operator. Okay? Now let's come to another one, which is addition assignment operator. Okay, so here addition assignment operator. It's not also a big deal only. Just right here. So what is the use? Like if I write here, um, if I write here score, firstly I write here score is equal to 50. Then if I write again here score is equal to plus is equal to 10. So can you predict the output of this of score? Let's do this in calculator and let's see if you can predict it or no. If I write this here, okay, so and then I run this, you can see the answer is 60. You will say how? Why the answer is 60? So if I say in simple terms, what this operator means. So here, what we are actually doing is we are writing score is equal to score plus 10. So here, what is happening that previously the value of score is 50. Okay, then we assign here, or we can say update the value of score by score. What is score value? 50. 50 plus 10, 60. That's why the answer is 50. Okay, so this is assignment, addition assignment operators. Then we come to our next operator, which is like subtraction assignment operator. For this, don't get confused in that you can use either one of them, no problem. But for the operator, I have told you the use of this operator. Next, we get to our subtraction assignment operator. So for this, it is same as that only. If I copy this, oh shit. See, if I copy this and just write here minus, so here will also be minus. So when I try to print score, I have forgot to write here the output. So output here would be what? Output here would be 60. If I try to write the output here on, so I will try to cross this and when I will run this again, or I should use mindset. Then if I try to run this again, then see the answer is 40. What happened here? It just subtracted 10 from score, or you can say like happening is there. Score is equal to score minus 10. You can see we will get the same result here also. So it's basically not that hard. Simple. It is there. Now for the multiplication, we have also multiplication assignment. Or should I give a real life example? So for the real example of the subtraction assignment operator is that if you are recharge a mobile wallet and later spend some money, so the application uses this operator to like subtract from the initial value. The initial value is like 500. You added 500, then it will subtract from 500 minus 50. So it will be 450 after your expenditure. Okay. So let's get to our multiplication assignment operator. Okay. So here multiplication assignment of if I take a salary is equal to like 20,000 and I try to write salary is equal to 20,000 multiplied by 2. So what would happen here? So if I try to print here salary, so the salary would be here would be, what would be here salary? Output is equal to 40,000, as it just updated the value by double of the initial salary. Okay, you can also like perform this in the code editor also for the distribution. You can see we got our value for 40,000. Okay, no problem in that. Then we come to our next operator, that is division assignment operator. Division assignment operator. So let's take here another amount is equal to 100, and when I write here amount is equal to 100, or should I write here this 4. So here what is happening, if I try to print amount, the output would be what? If we divide 100 by 40, then our output would be 25. So we can also check it on the code editor, and when I will run that, it is 25. You can see that it gave us in float. So the division operator gives our answer in float. So you should remember that one. Then for the modulus one, if I take here modulus assignment operator, and I take here number is equal to, I think this would be a little bit confusing for you, and take number is equal to, or percentage is equal to 5. So what is happening here is number is equal to number, which is 17 is getting modulus by 5. So you can say 5 3 is 15. So the what will be the output here if I try to print number here? So our number will be here, output is, what would be the output? The remainder one. So if I try to divide 17 by 5, we will get 5 3 is 15 and 2 as remainder. So output should be 2 here. Okay. So also we run this on our calculator for the checking purpose also. Maybe I could be wrong here for the calculation. So you can say we get a 2 as output. No mistake in that also. Then we come to our floor division assignment operator. Floor division assignment, okay, operator. Here I take the value as 20, and when I do value, what is equal to 3. So what is happening here? 20 is getting floor division by 3. Okay. So if I print here value, what would be the answer? I think 3 6 the 18. So the answer would be 6 here, I think. Let's just check here. Output would be 6 here. So let's just do it on our, if we try to run that. You will say the answer here is 6. So here, then we come to our exponential assignment operator. Okay, our last one. Exponential So here I take a number that is 3 and write number is equal to 2 and then try to print number. Then the output would be here the number is 3. So then what is it showing? That is 3 to the power 2. So 3 3s are 9. So I think the output should be 9. Let's just do paste it on our run this. You can see the output is 9 here. So I gave you a basic summary table of that. So you can't get like confused in all these operator. Okay. So I'll just give you a basic table you can see. So right here is equal to assignment operators. So it is used for assigning things like x is equal to 10. For that, you can say plus addition assignment operator. It is used like x is equal to x plus the value which are you doing, or you can say the the value you are writing here. If I write here x is equal to x plus is equal to that. So this means that okay. Then if I come to our subtraction, so x and minus is equal to value. So it means here x is equal to x minus value. Same for the multiplication also. So the purpose of writing this table is to quick clarification of these all operators. X is equal to x multiplied by value x to value x is equal to x divided by value. Then what comes after that are modulus. So x modulus is equal to value x is equal to x modulus by value. Then row division. So x row division equal to x is equal to x row division value. Then x is equal to value. That means x is equal to x exponential law. So this is whole up with clarification table so that you can like don't get confused in that also. Let's just do a mini activity, this activity. So here I am writing three expressions and you have to predict the value of all these expressions. Please do it carefully because you might get stumbled or when branch sugar milk. So like value is equal to 10, then value plus is equal to 5, then value multiply is equal to 2 and then value minus is equal to 2. So you guessed all the outputs here. If I try to like print here, the also I should have print here the value. If I print value here, all of that. Can you guess? So should we run it? Okay, let's run it. So we run it then, and we will get what will be the output values of these three questions. So you can see there are different values. Are these values correct? Your value correct or not? So let's explain what is happening here. So firstly, what happens here that the initial value was 10 here. Then when this value add 15 here, okay, so 10 is equal to 10 plus 5. So the value here becomes 50 here, 15 here. Okay, okay, and we also got 15 here also. Then when actually now the the value of this value variable is 15. Now when we here try to like if I write it in detail so that you can't confuse. If I write here, firstly what happened value was 10. So value was 10. So what happened here 10 plus 5 happened and it's got stored in the value. Now here the value is 15 and what they are doing like they are like doing value is equal to 15 and multiply by 2. So what is the value here? So value here is 30. Now the value here is 30. Okay. Now in the next thing, if we take value is equal to 30 minus 4. So value would be last value of the value would be 30 minus 4 it would be 26. 26. Okay. So that's why these all values are coming. So tell me in the comments if you got that right or not. Let's just disclose it. It is a mini activity we have done. Okay. Let us do some of the common beginner mistakes. Like in these all these what we call assignment operators. For the initial state, you can't write that like you can't write that your score plus is equal to 10 and can't write print score here. It is wrong. So let's just see what happen if we try to execute this. So if I comment all this and try to do this. Firstly, it tells what score is not defined. If I try to run that, it will give an error that score is not defined. So why score is not defined? Because what this line actually means here, it this line means actually that score variable is with score plus 10. You know. So here the score is not previously defined. So how can you add something which was not defined already? That's why it is giving error here. So it is the basic mistake people do often here. Okay. So it is was our mistake one. Okay. Now for the mistake two, what people do here is like they got confused in this assignment operator, that is this, and another assignment, another operator, that is comparison operator, that is this. So I should clarify to you that it is an assignment operator which is used to assign things to a variable, and it is comparison operator which is used to compare two things. Okay, so don't get confused in that all thing. Okay, so now here our next thing is third mistake. What people often do is that people forget that our division assignment operators produces float. So when they forget that, they didn't do the next steps of their program according to that only. Okay. Then for the real life, I can say real life examples I can give for this is they are used to update scores, shopping carts, like when you add art items in the carts, they get updated by these operators. So know that real life is simple as that. So let's just quickly revise all these assignment operators. Okay. So we firstly understand what are assignment operators. So these are the operators used to assign value to a variable. Then we learn about types of the assignment operators. Firstly, there was simple assignment operator. Then addition assignment operator, which used to add things. Then subtraction assignment operator, and then we have learned about our multiplication assignment operator, division assignment operator. I should write one line here so that they are separated. Otherwise, okay. Then we here took our division assignment operator. Then here it is our modulus assignment operator. Then next we have flow division assignment operator. Okay. Then one left also are exponential assignment operator. These are very, very no further clarification requirement. Here I have made a table for you so that you can't get confused in these operators. And here we have done a little exercise about this. I have also told you some of the mistakes that people do in these things. Okay. So now we know how to assign values and update variables efficiently using these operators. But sometimes we are performing calculations, we are need to compare two values. There we came to our comparison operators. So here we like tell whether a number is equal to another number, it is greater or smaller. Okay. So let's just come to our comparison operators. So so far we have learned the arithmetic operators and our assignment operators. Now we came to our comparison operators. So firstly, चल रहा है system-wise. Hello. So firstly, what are comparison operators? So these are the operators which is used to compare two values. Okay. So in which so what output they return? They return output as Boolean. Okay, Boolean data type you can say. Okay, that could be like a true or equals. Okay, so so that now I tell you the different types of comparison operators. So Python provides us like six comparison operators. So the first comparison operators we have is double equal to. So we call it equal to comparison operator. We say double equal to also. So it is used to compare things. Okay. Then we have not equal to. Then we have greater than, whether something is greater than. Then we have less than. Then we have greater or equal to, like in maths. Then we have smaller or. So all these six operators are there. Comparison operators are there in Python. So let's now quickly understand all these operators, like how they work. Okay. So first we come to our operator, that is uh, what is equal to operator now. So equal to comparison operator. So in this operator, it is used to whether two things are similar or not. So let's just like give an example. Print. If I write here print 10 is similar to 10, we already know both are equal. So let's run this in our code editor. And if we try to run it, and then we get the true as answer, because these are as same values. Okay. We can also check here like if print Python equal to Python. So let's check whether what will return. Return true because this is true. But if we change one word, like if we change p to a small p, what should we? I think it is return false. It is returned false. So we can compare strings like this also. Okay. What if I uh, confirm 5 is double equal to 5.0? So when I run this, it is writing true. Okay. So it is because it is the same thing mathematically. That's why it is giving true. Okay. So let's just go to our here and just here we get our output is true. Okay. So for the lab examples, when you ask OTP, when a set asks you OTP, you enter the OTP. So by this, it like checks whether OTP is correct or not. Okay. Then we come to our next operator. I should write here the simple operator, which is not equal to operator. Right? Not equal to. So it is right with that only. So this operator checks whether the values are different or not. Right, if I write print 20, or you can simply say it just reverts the output of this double equal to, okay, not equal to 5. Okay, so when I will turn this, I will get as output true. So as you can see, we get our output true. So this is the basic, like it reverts the output of this double equal to. In simple terms, we can say that. So now let's come to our next operator, which is greater than operator. Okay. So if I write here print 15 is greater than 10, what will be our output? So when we try to write this, you can see we will get a true because 15 is greater than 10. What if I put here point? It is true. And right here, what if I write here 15.15 only? What is it? It goes false because it treats apply to the same thing. 15 and 50.0 as same thing. Now let's do one different thing. If I write here print and write here like capital A is greater than small a. So what is it writing? It is writing false. What if I tell if they are smaller? So they're writing true. So how this is happening? Why it is given true? So the main thing here is it is taken on the basis of ASCII values. So your task for today is to check what ASCII values are and how they are used here. Okay. Next, we are going to take that small equal to variable. This is very easy operators. Do not need to spend more time on this. Smaller than operator. Then print here 20 smaller than 10. So what will be our output here? Definitely true will be output will be true. Sorry, I write wrong thing. 20 smaller than 10. Now when I will run it, it will say what is the not. It will say it is written true here. Okay. Or I should have changed the values here. Then otherwise it would have been like 20 is greater than 10. No? 10 is smaller than 20. Okay. Now I think it is true. Okay, so that's how much we handle. No problem. Now let's get to our next operator, which is greater than or less than equal to, or greater than equal to. Firstly, we will take our greater than equal to. So for greater than equal to operator, right here, greater than equal. So it will give true when those two values are equal, and true also when the one value is greater than other value, the right one. Oh, sorry, left one. Okay. So for right here, print 20 is greater equal to 20. this and comment this. Then when I write this, you can say it will answer as true. This is also to make a right here 10 because 10 is also important. So it is given true here. So this is for the greater than. Now we come to our less than operator. So let's get to our uh, smaller than operator. So here, if I print, like if I take here like print 20 is smaller or equal to 15. So what would be the answer of this? The answer of this would be false because 20 is not smaller than 80. If I write here 9, then the answer would be true. And if I took here 18 also, then also the answer would be. So it is also widely used here also. Here of the same categories. Then let's take a real life examples. Like if mostly for this, when people take the website will be greater than 18 years old or below 18 years old. Like when you like take a driving lesson, it take a condition that your age should be greater than 18. So it can be used at there also. So let's get to our mini exercise event thing. So I'm here taking two variables. Then we'll perform multiple comparison operations on them. Let's take A is equal to 15 and B is equal to 20. So I'm writing a multiple print A is greater B or print A is not greater than or not equal, sorry, not greater than equal to A is equal to B or A is not equal to B. Then for print I will write here A is greater than B. Then for another print I will write here print A is smaller than B. Then I will run these programs. Okay. So let's copy this and run this on our code editor. So here, just comment this and paste this our code. Also, we can also write here. So press Ctrl and Alt, and here I can write here A is one. First I can write because then okay. Or here I should change not. Here I should change greater, and here I should change small. Let's run this on the terminal. As we see, 15 is equal 20, it is false. 15 is not equal 20, it is true. 15 is greater than 20, false. 15 is more than 20, it is true. So here is the output of the following exercise. Now let's compare it with strings as I already told you about the Python. So should I try it again? I will told you as a task to like look after what is ASCII value. Okay. So let's also do check about some common grammar mistakes that people often do here, like grammar mistakes. People often confuse between these. I already told you first of all that print, pretend, and print, 20, double equal to 10. They are both different things. Although first one is also an invalid statement. Okay, so don't write this. Okay, so this means by comparing two. So these don't write this because or in place of this. So these both are two different statements. Let's come to our second mistake, which is that we forgot that the results of results of these comparison operations are of Boolean type. So you should always do the other calculations that are based on these operations because on the basis of this that the output will be produced as a Boolean data type. People also like ignore this. Like here, if I write like print apple is double equal to small a with apple. These two are both different things. So it will return false here. They are not the same thing. Okay. So let's come to the real life examples of these comparison operators. Firstly, they are mostly used in your login systems, in login pages, okay, for checking the correct username and password. Also in ATM pin validations, online exam result checking, age verification, and mostly attendance system also. So let's take a quick recap of these these comparison operators. So what are comparison operators? They are used to compare two values. They return output as Boolean data type. True or false can be their output. There are six types of comparison operators: equal to, not equal to, greater than, greater or equal to, or smaller or equal to. Then we will talk about the comparison operator used to compare two values and get output as true if the two values are same. Okay. Then we come to a not equal to operator. Just checks whether two values are different or not, or we can say in simple terms like it reverses the output of this double equal to operator. The greater than operator checks whether the left hand side number is greater than the right hand side number, and the opposite is of small than operator. Then we will talk about greater than and equal to and smaller than equal to. These are both same than the same as these operator, but the one big difference is there. Like it also gives true as output when both values are true. These can't give true output when both values are true. Okay. Then here we did a small exercises of this all operators. Then I will told you some of the mistakes, right? Differentiate between these assignment and comparison operators. Result of these operations are Boolean. People often forget that, and also the small a with apple and capital A with apple is different things. As already I told you, particular case sensitive learning. For the further, you can check out the ASCII things. ASCII values are there for these characters. So for now, we have learned how to compare values using comparison operators. What if we used to check conditions like if one condition is that apple is equal to apple. If this will give one out, if we check that both two conditions are true or not, then what will we use? We will use here our logical operators. So let's get into the logical operators and understand what logical operators are. So let's write here logical operators. So, for example, if we are checking two conditions like whether like condition one, if I write here condition one here like 2 is greater than 3 and condition 2 is 2 is equal to 4. So these two conditions and we have to check whether these both conditions are true or not, whether these both conditions are false or not, or whether one is false or other is false. What will be used? Here we use logical operators here. So there is a need for logical operators. For the definition thing, I can tell you that these are used to what they are used to like you can say compare or combine two or more like this to get the results of combination of two more conditions. Okay, so in Python we have three logical operators. So the three logical operators here are first is and which that is wrong. Second is your or and third is your not. Okay, for the real life thing you can I'm just saying like that person should only log in a login page if both the username and like password is correct. If one should not is not correct, then the login operation should fail. So let's come to our first operator, which is AND logical operator. Okay, I write here AND logical operator. So what is the use of this operator? So it returns or give output as true. So I should write this out output as true when all conditions are okay. Then the second one is or logical operator. If it gives output. Or should I give the example of this? First, I get the example here, we will get confused. So, like in our code data, if I write here age is equal to 20, so if you were using we are using a comparison operator, two comparison operators, and so there will be two conditions. So here I am writing print like age should be greater or equal to 18 and age should be smaller or equal to 16. Means the value of age should be lying between 18 and 16 with 18 and 16 included. So if we write here, uh, move this, we write, we run this, we will get true here as output. So if we try to use here or if I increase the value of age from 62, we will get here false. Okay, this is for the let it checks both conditions here. Okay, let's just this. If I only write here print 10 is greater than 5, then 5 is greater than 2 and more than two conditions, and 2 is greater than. So what do you think the output would be? The output would be true. See, the output is true. So we can say multiple conditions. Now let's come to our logical operator. Or should I give the truth table of this? Truth table is, I think, should I give it? Not problem. If if you are talking about, or I think, two conditions. If you are talking about only two conditions or more than two, no problem. More than two. The thing to remember is that all the conditions should be, then it will get output as true. Otherwise, we will get output as false. Okay. For the truth table, you can say that if condition 1 and condition 2, and here is our output. If I write here true and other is also true, then we get the output as true. But if it is false and it is true, then we get also as false. Or here if we get both false, or here I should get true and the other one is false, we will get output as false. If we get here false and here also false, we will get here output as false. We only get one true here. So it is, you can say, a truth table for that, for the AND logical operator. For the OR logical operator, you can say that gives output true only if give output true if one condition is true, either on if one only. Like if I try to write this here, age is equal to 18. So I can write here print age should be smaller than 10 or age should be greater than 50. So here age is 18, neither it is smaller than 10 nor it is greater than 50. So what if I turn to it as false? But if we write here age is 9, so you can say the first condition is following as age is smaller than 10, but the second is not following as it is not greater than 50. But then also we'll get true as output. So it is works like there. Also here you can also add multiple conditions, like if I write here 10 is smaller than 5, it is wrong condition, and 20 is smaller than 15, it is also wrong. Or if I write here 15 is greater than 10, so we have only one right condition. Okay, so it will give here us the true. Okay, so that's how this OR operator works. For the truth table of this OR operator, I think I should copy this. If I copy this and try to paste this here. So for here, we will get true if both true, then we will also got true. But if we write here, if we got one false, then we will also got true. What is happening? True. If we get one false, we get true. But if we get both false, then we will got false. Okay. So you can say it a little bit opposite. You can say, and for the end. So let's now come to our next operator, which is you can say our not operator. Okay. So the not operator just reverses the boolean value. Like if I take here, it only means to reverse. If the one thing is true, it will print as false. Like here, if I write not operator, and here it just it reverses the value. Okay, it can work with also one value. Okay, or you can say boolean value. Let's just do it by examples. If I write here print here true, we will get obviously answer is true. But what if I put not here? Then we get answer as false. Same if I put here false here, we will get answer as true. Also, for this, we will getting our answer as true here. But if we put here not and just close in this parenthesis, we will get our opposite output. Okay? False. Okay. So by this we can just reverse the value of any boolean value. Okay. So this is all for not operator. So let's just take some practical examples of all these operators, and I will you have to predict the output. Then we will try to do things. Okay. So if in the database, if in the database, if the username of a function is stored as admin 123 and the password is stored as python 123. So we will have to check in the activity whether user entering the correct password or not. Okay, so let's just do it. So if I come to our code editor, and here if I store username is equal to admin 123, and next here password. You can't take pass as a identifier as it is already a keyword. Take password here. Okay. Then here if I take Python 123, then if user enters here, this username is equal to admin 123, when we will use here and password here is Python 123. So what would be the answer of this? It would be true or false. So let's run this. As you can see, the answer is true because both of the value inputted are right. Okay. So let's combine with it with a mini practice activity also. What if I write here print true and false? Remember these are not strings, they are the boolean values, and here print true or false, and in the next line what if I print not, this I've already done for you, not true. So can you answer all of all these, or can you answer the output of all these print statements? Let's check here. Let's run this. You can see the answer is false because for the end, one value, both values should be true. The second is true because for the or, only one value should be true is required. That's why it is given true. And here it is just reversing the value of true, which is false. So, are you guessing the correct answer or not? So, let's just talk about some beginner mistakes people often do. Yeah. So, mistake one, like people get confused in and on or people get confused in and on all, or should I write here capital N? So I should revise this for you that in and both the conditions should be true and both conditions should be true. But in or one condition should be true. Okay. That's the main difference. And the other thing people often mistake is people use and in place of Here, the Python will not give any error because in Python, and is a you can say a bitwise operator. Okay, so but it would be like the answer would be wrong here to compare it with and operator. So let's come to our mistake three, that is when we kind of set a mistake. It's like good practice to use parentheses. Okay, like you should use print, and here you should write between parentheses that 10 is greater than 5 and 15 is greater than 10. So it is a good practice. So let's just recap this operators or logical operators. Okay. So what are logical operators? They are used to get the results of the combinations of two or more conditions. Like you can say these are two conditions: two is greater than three, two is equal to four. What is the output we get by using these uh, three operators like and, or not? Then we come to our AND logic operator. It gives output as true when all conditions are true. If two or more than conditions all should be true, then we will get true. Otherwise, we will get output as false. This is the truth table for this. Or but for the all logical operators, it will output as true if only one condition should be true. This is the criteria for this. Okay, this is also the truth table for this is also provided here. For the not operator, it reverses the Boolean value. Like if it is false, it becomes true. It becomes true. It becomes false. Then here we did a small activity, and I have also pointed some mistakes people often do. Okay. Also, I have told you that by using parentheses, it becomes that it increases the readability of our code. So it is a good practice. So now let's go to our membership operators as we have already know how to combine multiple operations. So now we will study membership operators. So what are membership operators? So till now we have learned the arithmetic operators, assignment operators, comparison operators, and logical operators. So now we will start the membership operators. So where the membership operators are used, it is used to like check whether one thing exists in the another object, like one value exists in another object. Okay. So for example, if I have to check whether in Python P exists or not. So your answer would be like true because P exists in Python. So for these purposes only we used membership operators. Okay, like if I give already give examples for the uh, technical definition. We can say that they are used to check whether a value exists inside another object, such as let the object example as string list list You're wondering what is list are. We will talk about this in upcoming lectures. It is the advanced concepts. Okay. Tuple and dictionary. We will also learn this in upcoming lectures, but I'll give you a brief overview of this. String, you already know what a strings. List is a collection of strings numbers. Okay. Tuple is same as strings, a little bit different. We will talk in details in the upcoming lectures. And we have a dictionary. Here we have key value pairs like name is equal to Rahul, like these pairs in this dictionary. We will take notation. We will take a deep overview of this in our upcoming lectures. So there are two types of membership operators. First one is in, and second one is not. Okay. Here we say that the not is made up of two operators. First is not, that logical operator, and in is membership operator. Okay. So firstly we have our the in operator. Okay. So it helps to check whether something exists in a object or not. Like checks whether some value exists in other object, or okay, if it exists it returns true. Okay. Like for example, if I write here print, like if I write here one string p in Python, so it will give a true output, that is it exists. Okay. However, you can also do check this by using loops also. We will also check that also in our upcoming lectures. So let's just do this in our core editor. Oh, not we have to write this one. We have to write like that. Now we will. So you can see here it is returning true here. If I write here O also, here also on that, it also return true. But if I write here Z, which is not in that, return false. Or all capital P, it will return false. Okay. So that is the basic use of this in operator, or you can say membership operator. So should I give you the like example with the list also? So don't take attention, just only see. Right here, members here, like here if I put 2 comma 3 comma, or should I put, okay, I should put here numbers only 3 4 5, or you can say I could also put a string also like apple. If I try to print here, print 3 in members, okay, I should comment this line also. So when I will say, it will write true because 3 is already in the list. If I write here apple, we will get true because these are exist. If I write here any other number like 10, then it will give us false. Okay, now we will talk about the not in operator. I should comment this. So, not in operator, it returns to value exists. Or you can say like opposite of in operator. Let's just do this also. If in this example only, if I write here, write here, not in, I will get true. You can see that we get true. So just it is opposite of in operator. Okay. So I have already told the example then if I write here not in string also I will put, then if I run that you see it will give true. Although the P is not in that capital P, right here small p, it will give false. Okay. So that's the basic difference between in and not in. So for a real life examples, if you're checking the attendance, so if the people are there in the class or also in the database, so you will check whether P is in the database of or like Rahul is in the database or not. So by that you can like take down correct attendance. So they are using schools also. Although we can do this number and marks also, we will also do this list also, but we will study that in later. So let's just do a basic activity. In this activity, there is a predefined list with content inside it, read, or should I use string also, or will it also? Should I use string also? I used red, then green, then blue. Okay. Now we have to find that by print statements you have to predict the output whether red in colors, not like this. Okay. Then print yellow in colors, then print black in colors, then print blue. So let's check what will be the output of these statements. Okay. Also, okay. So let's just run this. So true, true, false, false, true. Okay. Let's just comment this. The output is going to come out also. So the first is true. The red is in colors. Yes, definitely is there. Yellow and black is not in colors. That's why giving false. And blue is in color. That's why it is giving blue. So are you getting the? Do you get the correct answers of yours? Okay. So Let's just come to our mistakes part where people often mistakes there. So the mistake one people often do here is to forget case sensitivity because if you write P in Python, it is correct. But if you write capital P in Python, it's wrong. So that's why you should always remember to like what the case sensitivity. Second mistake, like people use this in place of in. So it is wrong. So you should remember that. Mistake three. So expecting title word message like I like someone said to check one also, but if you check P or PR in programming, programming, it will return true because here PR is substring of this. That's why it is returning true. We often are confused whether that more than two letters will return true or not. Okay. So let's come to the real life applications of these operators. So firstly, they are used to check whether a username is in database, a product in inventory, or whether a course is available or not. Finding a word inside a document and many other things. So let's take a quick recap of this in and not in operators. So firstly, what are membership operators? So they are used to check whether a value exists inside another object or not, such as string, list, tuple, and dictionary. So whether I give an example like whether in Python P exists or not. There are two types of membership operators, in or not in. In operator checks whether some value exists in another object. If it exists, it returns true. For example, print P in Python. Not an operator, it returns true of value exists. Right? If returns true if value exists, मतलब not exist. Like if I write here, if its value exists, it will return true. If like it is the opposite of in operator. If a value not exists, then it will return like true, or value exists and it returns false. Okay, here again it returns false. Let's say if value exists. Okay, and if it doesn't exist, it returns true. Here I gave you a small exercise. Then we have pointed three mistakes. How people do mistakes here. Okay, so today, so let also we have completed our this membership operators. Now let's move to the another operators that are identity operators. So let's understand what identity operators are. So for the you can say the technical terms, we can say that they are used to. compare identities identities of two values. Now you will get to know what is our identities. Like for in simple words, these check whether are two variables referring to the same object in the memory or not. As you already know, variables are stored in the memory, so they have a one memory address. So whether two variables, so whether if one variable have a memory address, so if the another variable is also referring to the same memory address or not. Okay, so that's why they are different from logical operators. Logical operators check whether one thing is equal the value, the 10 is equal to 20 or not. Okay, so that's why they are using identity operators. Okay, different. That's why the identity operators are different from comparison operators. So there are two types of identity operator. First one is your is, and second one is not. Please remember that in or in and not in we write not before in, but in identity operator we write not in after is. Okay. So let's understand with the real life examples how they are used. If two books have exactly the same notes written inside them, like if you take the one notebook of your friends of that are studying in your same class, so the notes of both the notebooks are same. So in the uh, contents, in the terms of contents, the contents are equal, but there are still two different notebooks. Na? Your friend's notebook can't be your notebooks, and your notebooks can't be your friend's notebooks. Now imagine two students sharing the same notebook. So actually, if you are making one notebook and your friend is studying from that notebook only, so in that case, the students is referring to your notebook. He is not a different notebook. He is not a different notebook. That's how identity works in Python. If one operator variable is referring to the other variable's memory address, means the other variables is like taking the value of mm, the other variable that is it referring to. Now let's say understand it with a example also. First we will check about is operator. So if I take a is equal to 10 and I take b is equal to 10. So if I check print a is b, so what would be the answer? Let's check. Let's close this. If I try to run this, I will get true. So why it is returning true? If I write here b is equal to a, then if I run this, it will return true because b value is in a. If I write here, if I take here A is equal to 10, comma 20, a list, comma 30, and B is equal to same 10, comma 20, comma 30. So if I write print A is B, so let's see what we will get the answer. The answer is false. Why false? Because however the values of both strings are both lists are same, but they are not referring to each other. Okay, this list have different memory address and this list have different memory address. So if I write here and if I write here C is equal to A, and then if I write print A is C, so we see that the answer is true because here not just C have the data of A, but it is also referring to the memory of the rest of A. That's why it is coming true here. Okay. Now notice something interesting. The both values are same, but then also it is not returning true. So that's I think the main difference between the comparison operators and identity operators. But when if you compare it like this, if you write here A is equal to B, then you will compare, you will get the output as true because these both have the same content and same value. That's why it is giving answer is true. Okay, so that is the main difference between that comparison operators and these numbers of operators. So let's do some differentiation between these and differential table. So for the this comparison operators, it checks whether the values are same or not. Whereas this is checks whether they are same object in memory or not. Okay, so this one is the most important difference that you can remember in pattern. So now let's just do come to the not in an operator. Done is not operator. So basically it's just opposite. If the value here is here a is equal to here put two brackets as this contents are in list now. A is equal to 2, 3, 4. B is equal to 2, 3. If I write here print B is not B, so here it will write output will be true. Okay. Why it is not? I should write a not around. If I write C is not C, then it will answer false. Okay. So that's the basic difference between the is and is not. Basically, they are just opposite of each other. Okay. That's just one. Even that here, they have got different values. The answer would be true because of they are taking memory relation on the values in the operator. So, for the real example, imagine a program stores the current user session, like the username and address. And if we like reference the logged user for the current user and check the both memory address, it will like if it then we will check why is the membership operator, we will get true because the new current user operator is referring to the logged in user. So we can set up practice examples when in the website to use. So here just a mini activity we are doing here, like if, or you can say x is equal to 5, comma 10 and y is equal to x and z is equal to 5, 10. So I will give you 427 and you have to like predict the output. Print x is equal to y. Print x is y. Also print x is equal to z. Print x is z. So let's just run it in the terminal. See what our output is. If I run this, is it got three true and one false? So why is that? Firstly, if y is storing the value x, so they both are equal to y, that's why it will true. Also, y is also referring to x, that's why is also true. F is equal to z, so the value of f and z are same, so it is also true. X is z, but the z is not referring to x, that's why this value is false. It's a basic example of that. So you should can you guess the correct answer here? So let's come to the mistakes where basic people do here. Like people mistake on. People use is instead of double equal to. Like for example, I take name 1 is equal to Python. Name 2 is same Python. Then the function wants to check if these values are equal. It can mistakenly use print name 1 is name. So it is a wrong way actually because you are checking the values, not the object is variable referring to other objectives or not. So then if I write here print name 1 is equal to name 2, it is the correct way. Okay. So Now come to our next mistakes. That is mistake two. People assume that same value in same object. Like if I write a list 1 is equal to 10, comma, and list 2 is equal to same here 10, comma, 20, 30. So these, however, the content in both the variables are same, but the that but that doesn't mean that they are same objects. So people often get wrong here. So for the real life examples, identity operator commonly checking special objects such as none objects. Like if a data has nothing objects, if I print data is none, so it will output true. We can't like compare like print data double equal to none. That's why it's a real life example of this. For the real life use cases, they are used to check whether a variable is none in object-oriented programming in Django, like Flask, a framework like Django and Flask, data processing, and mostly using Python libraries. We can't do like in basic Python programming. So let's just quickly recap this. Okay. So we started from what are membership operators. Membership operator is to check whether a value exists inside another object, like a string, list, tuple, or dictionary. Okay, where we know whether P exists in Python or not. Two types of membership operators are there in and not in. Mostly they check whether some value exists in another object or not. And for example, P in Python. Oh, shit, we have got into the membership operator. I think. Cut. Uh, Identity operator. So they are used to compare identities of two values. So there are two types of identity operators: is and is not. So if we check whether the values are either is one variable is referring to the other variable or not. Okay, if it's of reference, then it is true. Then it's not operator. It's opposite, just opposite of is operator. Okay, then we do a mini activity also here. I write here the three variables and I have asked you to predict the output of these four statements. I hope you have already predicted the correct output. Then we have talked about some mistakes like here name one and name two variable are different. Okay, if you have to check the value in it, you should use double equal to operators. And they also analyze the mistake that two same list doesn't mean they are same object. These are different objects. So now we have completed major categories in Python operators. So one important remains that what happens when you use multiple operators in a statement, how they are calculated. In math, when you use multiple operators, they are calculated as word mass. But for that, in Python, we have operator precedence. So let's come to the operator precedence. So, so far, We have learned all the major categories of Python operators: arithmetic, assignments, comparison, logical, membership, and analytic operators. But now an important question arises: what happens when a single operation contains multiple operators? Like here, like if I write here print 10 plus 5 multiply by 2. So whether the answer of this statement would be 5 into 10, that 5 into 2 that is equal to 10, and 10 plus 10 20, or 10 plus 5 is equal to 15, and 15 into 2, so the answer would be 20 or 30. So we will solve it by using operator precedence. So for the technical definition for the operator precedence, we can say that it is the set of rules that tells Python which operation should be performed first. Instead of guessing it, Python follows a create Python follows a like a fixed order. Like for example, if I go to here and write print 10 plus 5 into 2. So let's just like run it. So what is answer 20? What does Python did here? Firstly, he just multiply it by 2, so we have get here 10, and then he like added 10 plus 10, that would got us 20. So we can like analyze it here that Python firstly do multiplication, then addition. Also, we can, if we want to like get the answer 30, we can use here parenthesis, as the operator patent of parenthesis is very high. If we write, then we will get answer 30. So this is the main difference while with using parentheses also. Like for the another example, I can give you 100 divided by 5 plus 3. So what would be the answer here? The answer here is 23.0. So what happened here? Firstly, it do the division here, then added 3 here. But if you want to let first do the addition, then you can put parentheses here, and you will get the answer 12.5, as it divided 100 was divided by 8 here. Okay. So by doing this, you can also, by parentheses, you can also do this way also. And for the another examples, if I use exponent here, like 2 plus 3, then exponent 2. So the exponent says higher degree of precedence, so here exponentiation happens first, then addition. So if I run that, we get 11, right? 3 power 2 is 9, and plus 2 is 11. So that's the main difference here. So for the beginner level, the you should only remember this order, like the higher degree, first degree of hierarchy is of the which Python is priority in precedence is parenthesis, like this. For the second number priority, we have exponentiation. Exponentiation. For the third number degree, we have all ours like multiplication, division, floor division, and modulus in the same category. For the fourth, we have plus, plus, comma, minus. Then for the fifth, we have comparison operators. And for the sixth, we have not operator. Seventh, we have and. Eighth, we have or operator. Okay. For example, if I write here print 5 plus 2 into 3 minus 1. So according to the precedence, what should happen first? So the multiplication will happen first and the plus minus will happen at last. So let's just copy it and paste here. So answer is 10. So firstly, let's say how we get answer at 10. So as you can already see, 3 plus 2, 6. Then 6 minus 1 is 5 and 5 plus 5, 10. So that's how we get a answer here. Okay. So for the examples of comparison and logical operators, we'll write here print 10 is greater than 5 and 8 is smaller than 3 or 4. So what happens here? If I run this, we already know the answer. False will true because one condition is false here. But what actually happens here? First, Python will calculate this, then it will calculate this, then after that it will check with end of. So that's how it have a Python calculates operator precedence with these operators. So the bigger mistakes in this are that people forgot here to use the parenthesis. Okay. Then for the beginner mistake too, people also forget here that division returns float here. Okay. So like if I write here print 20 divided by 4 plus 2, the answer would be here for 7.7.0, not 7. S 25 5 4 to 20 or 4 5 to 20 5 plus 2 7. And people also gets confused with yeah, this and this as they both have different they are operators and they have both different operator procedures. And people also get confused of there with and or. Like and is firstly operated because of the operator procedure, then on. So let's discuss some many practice activity and you have to like expect the output of this activity. Firstly, I will write here print plus 6 divided by 2. Then I will write here print with same but parenthesis 4 plus 6 divided by 2. Then I will write here print 2 exponentiation with 3 then plus 1. Then I will write here print 10 is greater than 5 and 5 is greater than. So you have to find the output of like read the output of this. Now I will copy this and run this on the terminal. It's very easy, not a big deal. Okay, let's run this. So these are the answers here. So did you get the correct answer of your uh, matching answers? You can match this the other regular. Okay. So how we are getting it? Firstly, it is like dividing 6 divided by 3. So and we are getting float plus. So we are getting 4 plus 3 is 7. Then here, firstly it is getting 10, then divided by 2, then it is getting 5. Here we are getting first exponentiation, so 2 to the power 8 plus 1, 9. You already know here why it is coming false here. Okay, this is a mini activity we have done. Now understand why operator precedence are important. So operator precedence is important because when you are writing a banking application, if the calculations are performed in wrong order, then account balance may become incorrect. In scientific software, even a small mistakes can produce completely wrong output. Therefore, understanding the order of precedence is very important. Okay. Whenever an expression becomes complicated, just use parentheses. It's a basic practice and makes it good like good. So let's just take a quick recap of the present operator precedence. So it is a set of rules that tells Python which operation should be performed first. Here I'll also give you the example. So it is the order of priority that in operator precedence Python gives. Firstly, it is parenthesis, then exponentiation, multiplication, division, pro division, modulus, then plus minus, then comparison operators, then not, and or. So we have now completed the all operator categories and learned how and send the order of operations. So let's just now take a quick recap what we have learned in our whole lecture. So we started our lecture from the operators. Here. So an operator is a special symbol or keyword that tells Python to perform the specific operations on one or more values. So what actions is performed? It also tells us those what are operands, these are value on which operator works.